A very good afternoon to all, and warm welcome to all you in my this lecture, that is the continuation of the lecture 3. Last time we have seen wireframe modeling and the surface modeling. In case of surface modeling, the definition of the surface modeling, and briefly I described what do you mean by the surface modeling. Few advantages of the surface modeling also we have seen, that is 1 and 2 and 3. Today I'll continue with the fourth advantage. The fourth advantage of the surface modeling: with the surface model, it is possible to calculate the properties such as mass, mass and volume. Mass and volume. In case of wireframe modeling, we have seen that mass and volume and the property related with the mass not possible to calculate in case of wireframe modeling. But in case of surface modeling, we can easily calculate the mass and volume as well as the property related with the mass and volume. Next property, that is that due to the richness of the information, surface model are suitable for engineering applications such as generating the cross section, interference detection, finite element modeling, and NC tooling path generation. This is also not possible in case of wireframe modeling, because in the wireframe modeling we don't have too much information regarding the surface, and other things. In the case of the surface modeling, we are having more information compared to the wireframe modeling. Due to that, this all the engineering application we can perform. Next advantage, that the shading of an object, it is possible in surface modeling. Next, the surface modeling is considered as an extension of the wireframe modeling. As already I said, this is like wireframe modeling is a basics of a surface modeling. So same thing here also, and wireframe can be extracted from a surface model by deleting all the surface entities. Once we delete all the surface entities, we will get a wireframe modeling. So this is like a seven advantages of the surface modeling. It has a two disadvantages also. The first disadvantage: surface model provide no information about the inside of an object. What will be there inside of the object? There is no information, only the surface information provided by the surface modeling, which is outer side of the subject. What is the outside of the surface? Because it is always related with the surface, not inside of the surface. So that is one of the disadvantages that can be overcome in the solid modeling. Cannot be used to calculate the dynamic properties. In this case, only we can calculate the mass and volume and properties related to the mass, but the dynamic properties we cannot here we cannot calculate. Okay, so this is like advantage and disadvantages of the surface modeling. Next, most important, that what are the entities are there in surface modeling. What are the different types of entities? The first is analytical entities. The second part is called the synthetic entities. First, analytical entities: plane surface, ruled surface, surface of revolution, and tabulated cylinder. And in case of synthetic properties, synthetic entities, that include Hermite cubic spline surface, Bezier spline surfaces, and the Bezier surfaces. This is all are the synthetic entities, or this is all are the analytical entities. We'll see one by one. First, we are having a surface modeling. Okay, in the surface entity, we are having this is an example of extension of a we can say that the extension of the wireframe modeling. To create the surface, data related to the desired shape is required. The choice of the surface is dependent on the application. In order to visualize the surface, the mesh of a m into n size is displayed. The mesh size is controllable and in the form of a crisscross on the surface. The mesh size plays an important role in the proper visualization, because if the mesh size is not proper visualization, it is difficult to visualize and difficult to visible also. However, it should be noted that the finer the mesh size of a surface entities, longer is time to required by software to construct and modify the entities. But obvious, this is a system may need two boundaries to create a ruled surface, that we will see in the next slide, or might require one entity to create the surface of a revolution, that also we can see in the next slide. Surface provided by the CAD/CAM software are either analytical or synthetic, that is already we have seen. Few analytical entities are there, few synthetic entities are there. So in the next slide we will see. First, a plane surface. A plane surface is nothing but we are having the boundary from all the sides, and you can see the line. This is a line are there, okay, a line, a plane surface, okay, a plane. This is one of the simplest surface come in the surface modeling, okay, and it is defined by the infinite plane. This plane can be used to generate the cross-sectional views in the solid model. Already you know, in the case of solid modeling, in the first step we are selecting the plane, okay, and in the first plane, that is always in a plane surface, real plane surface. Next we are having a surface modeling. In the case of surface modeling, in the surface modeling we are having a next is called the ruled or lofted surface, okay. That ruled and lofted surface is surrounded by the two boundaries. The one boundary is this, another boundary is this. This is called like a curve profile, okay, curve profile, and we are having a linear line over here, but it is connected to the one boundary to the another boundary. In case of AutoCAD, in the prompt command we always write a RUL and SURF, rule surf. Once you give a rule surf, immediately this command is started. In case of SolidWorks also, you will find the lofted surface, okay. This command is there, this tool we are using for generating such a kind of a object, such a kind of a surface, okay. And in the second, as this is first is called the ruled surface, another one is called the edge surface. In the edge surface we are having the four boundaries: boundary 1, boundary 2, boundary 3, and boundary 4. This is surrounded by this boundary, and the same here also we are having a one profile, curve profile in both the side, okay. In the another example, as I said, okay, surface is patched between the closing boundary surfaces of the defining curves. So this is like a very simple example of a surface modeling, and already you are using this tool in SolidWorks as well as in AutoCAD also to generate such a kind of a surface. Next we are having a third one, that's for surface of revolution. Surface of revolution, we are having here the plane curve as well as the plane curve profile, okay, curve profile, and this curve profile is a little bit offset from the axis of rotation, little offset from the axis of rotation. In case of SolidWorks, you just generate by use of curve tool this a curve profile, this curve profile, okay, and after that you can give a command. After the extrusion, you have after in the extrude you can give a command to the surface revolution, axis of revolution. You can just revolve this. After the revolution you will get such a kind of and beautiful model, okay. So this is also we can generate by use of this profile, okay, and that is always rotate with respect to the axis of rotation. So this is axis of rotation, this is a plane curve. After revolution we will get this, and in the 3D view of the object, when we rotate by the use of cursor in case of SolidWorks, we will see such a beautiful object. So this is a surface of revolution. In case of AutoCAD, you have to just give a command. In the prone command, you can give a command, that is REVSURF, revolution surf. As soon as you will give this command is activated and you will get such a beautiful object, okay. So this is one of the example. Another, this is the fourth one, that's called the tabulated surface. In the tabulated surface, here also we are making in a 2D, that is one of the curve profile, and that curve profile, if we rotate, okay, that curve profile we will rotate, and you can see in the next, okay, direction of the path vector and generated surface. You can see here that they are generating a surface such a way that, okay, and after that we can generate another surface also. If we are having the plane curve like this way, if we are having the plane curve like this way, we will generate this kind of object. If we are having the plane curve like this way, we will generate this kind of subject, this kind of a surface, okay. This is a generated surface. So this is also one of the tabulated surface, one of the surface that is called the tabulated surface. In case of AutoCAD, in case of SolidWorks, directly tool available, that tool you can use and generate this generate this surface. Okay, but in case of AutoCAD, in the prompt command, you have to give tab tab surf. That time this tool is generated and you can use this tool. Okay, this is called the surface modeling. This is very simple, not too much difficult. Okay, in the lower classes already you have done in the second semester 2 AutoCAD and the semester 3 CAMD. This all the tools you have already used. This all tool in the software already you have used. Next, that is called the Coon patch. Next is called the Coon patch. In the Coon patch, this is a surface patch, okay, formed by the curves which form a close boundaries. We are having a such a curve. Everywhere we are using the curve profile. Here we are having a curve profile. Here also we are having the curve profile. Here also we are having a curve profile. Here also we are having a curve profile. This is all are the curve profile. This is a close boundary. The set of curves can be used to create a surface. Okay, in this case we are all the curves we are using to create a surface. So this is called the Coon patch. Offset surface. Okay, regarding the offset surface, meaning of the offset, it is always offset from the plane. For example, I am having a one plane over there. Okay, or rather than you can better understood by the example eccentricity. Just I am giving the example of the eccentricity. As you all know, if I am having the one beam and I am applying the some load, but it is offset from the center, offset from the axis of the beam. Okay, so that is distance from the axis of the beam to that load, that is called the eccentricity. Here also some surface is generated, but that is always having some distance from the plane. That distance is called the offset. So here you can see some offset surface is generated. Okay, some offset surface is generated. Offset surface we are having, this is a plane. From the plane we generate some another surface, that is called the offset surface. Okay, so this is like a surface. In the surface modeling we are having the offset surface. As I said, a synthetic surfaces. In the synthetic surfaces we are having the Bezier curves. In the Bezier curves, we will study in more detail in the next lecture or next to next lecture, in the further session. But only you have to remember here, this is like also a curve profile, and that is controlled by this control point. You can see a control point over here, over here. Okay, that is controlled by the control point, but here the curve is not passes through all the control point. Means that it is passes through a few control point, and this few control point globally control this curve. This is called the Bezier curve. B-splines curve. Okay, a further extension of Bezier curves. This is a further extension of the Bezier curve, but here most of the control point controlled by the curves. It means that the curves passes through most of the point. Okay, most of the point means maximum. It is not like that, but the maximum 90 to 95% way the curve passes through a control point. One of the fillet surface, as you all aware about the fillet surface, what is the advantage of the fillet surface and how we can generate the fillet surface in SolidWorks, AutoCAD. Okay, and what is the use of fillet surface to avoid the sharp edges. As you all know, sharp edges always are responsible for the high stress concentration, and that is also responsible to the crack start from the high stress concentration. Due to that, we always avoid the sharp corners. Okay, avoid the sharp corners, and here we are use a fillet. Okay, and we avoid to avoid the sharp corners. We are here giving a fillet surface. Okay, like a small radius, a small circular shape to the each and every corner. This is one of the example of the surfaces, and that comes under the fillet surfaces. So till here we have seen different types of fillet surfaces. Okay, this is the last fillet surface. Next is a solid modeling. Last time we have seen a wireframe modeling as well as a surface modeling. The next is solid modeling. A solid modeling is a complete representation of the model with respect to the vertices, with respect to the edges, with respect to the surfaces, as well as it has a information regarding the inside of the model also, as well as it has information regarding the weight and volume, mass, and the property regarding the related with the mass also. The model is complete and unambiguous representation of the precisely enclosed and filled volume. You can see by the 3D model, by the solid modeling, we will get each and every information because it is the higher version of the surface modeling. As you all know, the surface model is the higher version and having the more information compared to the wireframe modeling. Wireframe modeling having less information compared to the surface modeling. Surface modeling having the less information compared to the solid modeling. In the solid modeling, it is a complete representation of this solid. In this case of the surface modeling, we are going to study are different methods, different types of methods are there. Only I am noted down here are three method. I am showing a three method, but out of three also we will only the two first method are more important with respect to your end semester examination, that is constructive solid geometry and boundary representation. Other method also there in the book, that is half spacing, that is analytical solid modeling, cell decomposition, spatial, enumeration, octree, encoding, primitive, and sweeping. But here only we are going to study our first two method. Third method also not most important, only that first two method they ask in the end semester examination, as well as it is a most important. And today's in AutoCAD, in most of the places, for developing a model they are using these two methods, or for creating a solid model they are using these two methods. As I said, the first constructive solid geometry, the full form of constructive solid geometry, and it is also noted denoted by a symbol CSG or CRAP. Rather than it has two different uh, a method, okay. And first of all you must know what are the entities they are using. So you can see the different types of entities, and this is a picture actually I have taken from an Hadri book, okay. What are the solid primitives are there? In the first you can see like a rectangular entities are there. The second is sphere, you can see over here, and the third one is the cylinder, fourth one is a cone, okay. And this is called a torus. This is a torus, okay. You have seen many times this kind of a primitive, okay. This is a kind of primitive, this is called a torus, and this is called the wedges. This is called the wedges, okay. So this is like a few entities are given over here. We are using such a kind of entities, okay, and such a kind of primitives to develop a solid model, okay. And this method, the CSG method, is called as the building block approach, okay. Building block approach, the CSG system is allows the user to develop the model out of the solid graphic primitive. As I said, this is all are the primitives, and already I explained regarding all the primitives, okay. This shapes and the mathematical representation of the block. Constructive solid geometry are most popular method of representing and building complex solid. A CSG model is based on the principle that any physical object can be divided into the set of bounded primitives which can be combined in a certain manner to form a physical object. Structuring and combining the primitive of the solid model in a graphic database is achieved by use of Boolean operation. Okay, the different types of Boolean operation we will use over here. The CSG method has a procedural advantage in the initial formulation of a model. It is relatively easy to construct a precise solid model out of a regular solid primitive by adding, subtracting, and intersecting the component. CSG uses the unevaluated representation format which result in compact file of a model in a database. However, this result in a more competitions to evaluate the model. Now you can see different types of primitives are there. One is, we can say, like this is a rectangle, okay, and this is the circle. If I say this is the A and this is the B, this is the A and this is the B, okay. If I say I need a union of this, I need the union of this, okay. If I need the union of this, means this kind of figure we will get, that is the union of A and B, okay. And after that, we can say this is a subtraction. If I say subtraction of A minus B, when I say subtraction of, this is A, this is B, subtraction of A minus B, I'll get this one, okay. If I say B minus A, okay, from the B, I need to remove this A, so this whole part will remove, I'll get this one only, okay. If I say intersection of A and B, I'll get only this part, this is part, you can see over there, this is only the intersection of these two parts, okay. So this is A, this is B. As I said, this is a union, this is a subtraction, and this is an intersection, okay. As I said, a constructive solid geometry is one of the most important method to develop a solid model. The database representation of the constructive solid geometry object is represented by the binary tree. Next, I'll show you the binary tree. Okay, you can see here the binary tree, okay. There are the two binary tree, one is called the unbalanced binary tree, other one is called the balanced binary tree, okay. In the balanced binary tree and the unbalanced binary tree, you can see there is a two difference, okay. If I say unbalanced, means the right side and left side both are not equal. Here you can see the right side and left side are both equal. I want to make this model by use of different types of primitive. You can see a different types of primitive they have used over here. You can see A and B, they are two primitive, okay. They do first the union of these two, okay. So I'll get S1. Here also we are having the C and D, the another primitive, we can add, do the union of these two, I'll get this one, okay. And after that, the S1 S2 again go to the union. Once we are going for the union, I'll get this one, final S3. So this model we develop by use of different types of primitive, and both the side are balanced, both the side are having the same primitive, same branches, so that it is called the balanced primitive. What do you mean by the unbalanced primitive? If both the side it's not balanced, you can see here we are having A and B, okay. A and B, that forms this one S1, okay. C and D forms, after that S1 and C forms the lower one and this one. After that we added D also, okay. So S1C will form this one, means this one and this one will form S2, and after the S2 and D will form the this S3, and that is the final model, okay. Final model, that is already we have developed by this different types of primitive, but the right side and left side both are not same. Due to that, we can say this is a unbalanced tree. So this is an example of the constructive solid geometry.